weird being on this side. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Hello everybody, my name is Joshua.
My name is Paige.
And we'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Coffee, Cats, and the King, where we will discuss books, both new and old, share with you pictures of our cats, will make you wish they were your cats. I'm drinking off coffee from me and everybody watching.
I just have water today.
Yes. My mug is, if you'll focus, hello, hello. My mug is from Troy. It says, in my defense, the moon was full and I was left unsupervised. Shirt is Nightmare Before Christmas, Mr. Oogie Boogie himself. Page.
I have a water bottle with a bunch of flamingo and friend stickers on it. And then this is actually designed by Shy, your sibling.
Oh, yes, yes. Yep. Tuda.
And then my shirt. Got a little cool cat guy chilling with the palm tree. And then this is the back. It's in frame.
Yes. Awesome. So that's right, you guys get another Page video. How lucky are you? I have asked Paige to join me again today for a tag video this time. I wanted her help with. This is one that I saw Pax do over at Pax Panic, and I will link that video down below. This is the Cover Wars tag, and basically it's just that. You're pitting books to get up against each other based solely off of cover. And so it's head-on-head battles, winner moves to the next round until you're down to one book. And then as a little bonus at the end, you're supposed to take the book that won and the book that it beat out in the end, actually read the synopsis and decide whether you in fact would have picked that book or not. So just sounded like a quick fun video. I know my books a little too well, so I didn't want to just run over and grab books off the shelf, because I knew that even, you know, not in a conscious manner I would have picked certain titles. So instead, Paige came in here with the door closed, picked how many books?
I did 10 matchups.
Okay, so 20 books.
Yeah.
20 books to battle it out. I don't know which covers they are, which ones she picked, which ones she will give me to go against each other. But I think it's going to be an interesting battle. So, do you have anything else to say before we get started?
Well, I was doing random at first because your bookshelf is a little overwhelming. I didn't really know where to start. And the way that he has his books right now, they're like stacked on top of each other instead of sideways, so it was a lot harder to see the covers.
They also go about 3 rows back.
Yeah, there's multiple stacks.
One bookshelf that is then surrounded by books on the floor.
Yeah, so it was a little hard at first, but what I did is I found some good ones, and I thought, oh, maybe I can find something that's similar. That would be like a good matchup of like, so they're like a theme.
Okay.
So I kind of did each matchup like by a theme.
Right.
I hope that's okay.
That's how we will do it.
Alright.
We'll get on to the first one.
No peeking.
I'm not peeking.
Okay.
Okay. First book. Oh, first book matchup. Alright. I'm going to get them nice and close here. So we have Figments and Fragments. Oh yeah. It's good stuff. With the Beauty. Of course, there's the real Beauty. I can tell I'm gonna have a hard time getting this thing to focus. There we go, the Beauty.
Yeah, this theme is obvious. They're both women's faces that are kind of abstract.
I like both covers, but this little blurb here on this one, I don't like that that's there. And I'm gonna have to go with Figments and Fragments on this one. Yeah, that one is just that's really cool. I liked the realism involved in that one, I guess. right. Next to. Okay, this is actually a book from Vampire the Masquerade. Very almost like comic book style there, you know, as opposed to this guy here. So Monsters and Nightmares versus
Toreador?
Sure.
They're both kind of like vintagey illustrations.
Yeah.
But also monster.
This one is clearly a female vampire. This one is more of a, I guess that could be a male vampire. Regardless though, I love this cover. This one's got to win over this one. Yeah. Monsters and Nightmares moves on to the next.
Yeah, the next two.
Okay.
These are kind of like morphing ones.
Alright. So we've got Patrick Billings with The Quiet. Really nice cover, actually. I like that one a lot. Simple but effective, you know. Versus Child of Darkness from David Silva. Again, very nice cover. These are two great ones. These are also two books that I haven't made it to yet.
Oh.
So this is the hardest one so far. The other two are pretty clear cut too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the hardest one so far because I really like the.
Because this one has like a landscape, whereas this is like just a face. I think this one's more
a good face.
bold.
It's a good face.
Dang. I stumped him.
Oh, yeah, it's a tough one, guys. I think I'm gonna have to go with The Quiet.
Really?
By a very small margin. Very small margin. That was a tough one.
All right.
Dang. I think against other matchups, those two had a lot of potential to go up further in the rankings, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these two, I had these specific covers in mind when you told me about this tag. Like, I went on a hunt to find these books specifically. Another face one.
Another face one.
Yeah.
Faces are effective.
A lot of faces.
Faces are effective. Okay. I actually just finished this one, too. So I guess maybe that's what gave you the idea.
Mm-hmm.
This is John Holt with When We Dead Awaken. And this is what I really dig this cover. Is he wrapped up in plastic? Is he alive? Is he dead? I don't know what's going on there, but very good. Then this is Melissa Larson with Shudder. And this has actually become more of a... I dig the cover. It's a really pretty cover, but it's become more of a... This is very common lately with this type of book, with this type of thriller that's trying to be horror, if you will, where they're doing covers like this.
Too mainstream for you?
Well, it's a very effective one, but yeah, When We Dead Awaken on this one. This is a case where it's tough too because I have read both of these books.
I knew you were going
and
to let the story sway you.
One of them I really like, and one of them was pretty disappointing.
I knew it.
Artistically, that's a gorgeous cover. Of course it is. Mm-hmm. No one can deny that.
As far as which one appeals to you.
But as far as which one appeals to me, the quiet horror, if you will, of When We Dead Awaken, that just works for me. Mm-hmm. So, When We Dead Awaken on that one. Okay.
Okay. These two I picked because I feel like they do a good job at like showing you the setting and the world that the book takes place in.
Okay. Alright, that's fair. So, oh. This is interesting too because we have one that came out many years ago versus one that just came out. Mm-hmm. So you have H.G. Wells with War of the Worlds, and this one is definitely a newer edition, if you will, versus Bridge to Elsewhere. Come in close and show a little bit off at a time, you know. There's a lot going on this cover. Oh, kitty. Dang. Well, it gets automatic points for the kitty, of course. And this guy, is he actually untethered? No, he's still tethered there, but
And look at
it's
the
not
back.
necessarily looking good for him. Oh, more to the back. Oh, there you go. It kind of zooms in on him and what's going on up there. And I think that's a tree branch, but it could also arguably be something coming after him. This is a good matchup. Good matchup. Both semi-spacey themed. Some more than others, of course.
Classic and new.
Yeah, classic and new. Kitty's a good one there.
I had to have at least one cat.
Yeah. I think on this one, I think War of the Worlds is going to win because it has. I love that this one is set up like a classic kind of movie poster, if you will. You know, if I were in the bookstore, this copy of War of the Worlds would probably catch my eye before Bridge to Elsewhere.
Okay.
So that
fair.
was a tougher one though. It was a good one. They're both very well done.
These are both funny creature covers.
Funny creature
Which
covers.
you have a lot of,
Okay.
so it was. I couldn't really narrow it down.
Hey, we got some goosebumps. All right. So, I'll start with The Beast from the East. And, page, if you don't know, the illustrator for these, Mr. Tim Jacobus, he is, I mean, horror kids. We all have to love the guy, you know? It's kind of like what Scary Stories tell in the dark, where, you know, the writing is good, but
The
these covers, the illustrations, that's what pulled you in.
It's iconic.
And I mean, yeah, absolutely. They tried to do like a revamping with all these new covers. I hate them. I will not collect them. Period. If I'm gonna have the Goosebumps book, it's got to be the old ones. Followed by. Oh man.
Didn't you pick this one because of the ridiculous
Yes,
cover?
I did, and this is
Okay.
actually second in a series. I don't have the first, but when I saw this book, I had to pick it up just for the cover. This is James Caan with Time's Dark Laughter. And I'm going to just give you guys a second here to try and soak in some of what's going on. I've got a giant bat on this centaur's shoulders. There's a random bear there standing beside him. I don't know what that thing is in the back, what it's supposed to be. And then you almost don't even notice this guy, but you really need to notice this guy because what is that? And what the heck is that thing supposed to be? Seriously, it's ridiculous. Dang, that's a tough one. I love the illustrations for the Goosebumps books, but that is a tough one to get over, you know? Oh my gosh. I don't know how I'm going to decide this. Can I send them both on to the next round?
No, you have to pick.
Oh man.
Which would you want to read? If you were in the bookstore, which one would you buy?
Oh my goodness.
If you only had enough money to buy one. Just from the cover.
I bought Beast from the East because this one specifically shows that it is volume 2 of the trilogy.
Just based on the cover.
Yeah, but that's part of the cover.
No.
You're not gonna give me any out on this, period. This is brutal. This is really brutal. I don't know how I'm gonna pick. The child in me wants to pick the Goosebumps book, you know? I'm going with Goosebumps. I'm going with Goosebumps.
Good choice.
Based off of what I would purchase in the store, the other one looks like a weird science fiction fantasy, which I like, but
I think the Goosebumps one is more...
Goosebumps is clearly, you know, I mean, it's Goosebumps.
Yeah.
And everyone knows Goosebumps is horror, period. I'm going to go for horror over science fiction fantasy.
Okay. And then, of course, I had to do a step back cover. Is that what it's called? Step back cover matchup.
Oh man, these are good. This is going to be a good one. Okay. And you have an author that I have not really read anything from, versus an author that I have not read anything I like from.
Oof.
So
Okay.
this is going to be solely based off
Yeah.
of cover, definitely. So this is V.C. Andrews with Ruby.
No.
Stupid. I opened it to this instead. Let's try this again. V.C. Andrews with Ruby. Under this gorgeous cover here. Look at that. And this guy in the back. Poor old Granny there looks terrified too. Not that Granny. That's a very young Granny. I'm talking about this Granny over here. Really, really well done. Versus Ramsey Campbell with The Influence. Oh, that's a good one.
You are such a sucker for step back covers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If it has a step back cover, he's gonna buy it.
Absolutely.
100%.
Even if it is freaking Ramsey Campbell.
Yeah.
This was the book that was his last chance to sway me, and it did not sway me.
Mm-hmm.
So, little girl, fire surrounding her, and the demon's hand, or Ruby with the kind of family portrait and massive, giant grandpappy in the background about to snatch the kids.
They both have the like metallic covers. Too.
Yeah. The front cover itself, I think the Ramsey Campbell book draws me in more.
Mm-hmm.
But inside, I dig the Campbell, but this one is just such beautiful artwork.
It has more like a
I love the menace behind this guy, and you know, everyone's trying to kind of smile, but they're all very clearly uncomfortable except for her.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you just know from that face that she's gonna die because she's probably promiscuous. That's what happens in horror. I'm going with Ruby on this one.
Okay, I wasn't expecting
Yep, I'm going with Ruby on this one.
Okay.
Campbell's a good one, but that step back cover, Ruby kills it.
All right.
Yep.
And of course, we had to have a Stephen King
And
matchup.
we have King. Okay.
I tried to pick more like stylized covers instead of the classic
You
covers.
picked some very, very interesting King books here.
Yeah.
For this. Coffee break. All right, so we've got Stephen King with one of his newest, Billy Summers. Him in the forest, just driving through. And this actually shows up really well on camera here too. You can see his headlights pushing through with the words beneath the page. I mean, it shows up very nicely on camera.
Mm-hmm. I like how it continues on the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. It's a lovely cover. It is. Deceptively simple, I guess. And then this one is part of the Dark Tower series. This is Wizard in Glass. It's very simple around it, but then the main actual picture, very well done. Very much tells you kind of what you're into for this. I think they were going for more of a, you know, they were trying to convince people that you're getting a classic kind of fantasy with this.
Yeah, it gave me like Lord of the Rings vibes or something.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this was their attempt in drawing other people into the Dark Tower world, and maybe a little bit of an homage to those books of old. But on this one, Billy Summers has got to take it.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, it's just that's a great cover.
Yeah, I love covers like that.
Do you need?
I got it.
Okay.
Okay, it's another.
Shows you how
funny
strong Paige is, grabbing both those Stephen King
right.
books at once.
Now, these I also picked because Havoc clearly likes these.
Ah, we have Havoc picks.
Because I see
oh my
this
goodness.
one has a little rip right here,
yeah.
and then he chewed this one
oh yeah, yeah.
up here and down here.
Fantastic. I love when Havoc
Yep. So
reads my books.
there you go.
Yeah. These are two that I've really been wanting to get to on this channel too. Oh man, these are both going to be great books, and I think you can't help but love these covers and want to read these books, you know? And tell me you weren't at least a little bit intrigued when you picked these up. So this is Platt F. Clark with Bad Unicorn. And of course I'm going to zoom in here. He's got the stuffed squirrel there. And that is one mean looking unicorn. Bones hanging out of the mouth and everything. Oh, and the back. Holy cow. The back. Everything just explodes. There is a black and white rainbow. There is this random tree which is bones all over it. And kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty. More of the squirrels at war. Oh my goodness. This back is freaking awesome. Dang.
I actually didn't notice the back until just now, so now I feel like it's not an even match.
Because this one has a great front cover.
Yeah.
This is Paul Shipton with the Pig Scrolls. And again, this one has another great cover though. It is a really excellent cover. It draws you in. I mean, the Pig Scrolls by Grylus the Pig. You got to know what's going on with this book, obviously. I distinctly remember finding this book at the thrift store on one of these last ones. So yes, I have to read this book. I have to read this book. You know, it's kind of the feel that that some of Neil Gaiman's artwork gives off. Yeah. So because it's just, you know, his stuff is very whimsical, but very whimsical and childish, and also very dark, you know. So I dig that, and of course I dig the front cover, but it's really the back cover wins this one for me.
Yeah, I didn't notice the back until now.
Based off the fronts, it would have been a much tougher pick, but this one has just a very plain back cover, whereas this one, it's like my imagination exploded. So there you go.
Okay, now these. I think this might be the toughest one for you.
Oh man.
But after the other one, I don't know. But I know for a fact these are two of like your favorite covers because you raved about them in the past.
Gosh,
so I thought it would be interesting to put these together.
Oh boy.
These don't really have a theme other than that.
Other than you're trying to give me a really hard time. Okay, alright. Yeah, this is, you picked well. You picked well. So, the Ever Evil page has picked Dan Simmons' Summer of Night, which has a gorgeous cover on the front, but then you open it up to just one of the most stunningly beautiful step back covers. I mean, if you were a horror fan, if you are a Ray Bradbury fan, then you are probably as obsessed with this cover as I am. Awesome. And then this one is Michael Kelly and Carol Weeks with Ouroboros. And they use...
That's a long-time favorite for you.
Yes.
We've had this book for a long time.
Yeah, they use every square inch that is given, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful book. So much going on in this little cover. And I mean, look, that is some serious artwork. You have given me a very tough one here. And they're so different.
They're so different.
They're so different.
But I knew I had to have them in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like I couldn't put them against anything else because then it would be too easy.
Right.
So that's why I put them together.
It's Summer of Night. The
Really?
Step Back. It's Summer of Night with the Step Back. Yeah. I mean, I'm serious. Like that's,
I know.
you know.
You rave about that cover every time you look at it.
Yes.
It's so nice.
It is. It's.
Okay.
So those were the original 10. Now it should go a little easier. I don't know. Okay, so we've got Figments and Fragments versus Beast from the East.
Well, you gotta make it rapid fire.
I gotta go Figments and Fragments. Yeah, okay. You're right. I'm gonna have to do this last part rapid fire because now emotion is really playing a role here. I've just got to look at them and quickly. That's the one that catches my eye. Okay, we've got The Quiet versus Monsters and Nightmares. Oh man, this is a tough one. Oh my goodness.
5, 4, 3.
Why do you not like me?
2.
Monsters and Nightmares. Ah.
Which ones were next? Some of these two were next. I put them out of order, so whatever. I'm just gonna pick them randomly now.
All right. When We Did Awaken versus War of the Worlds. When We Did Awaken.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm just going off the cuff here. I can't overthink it. Billy Summers versus Ruby. I love that cover. Inside. That step back cover for Ruby is so good though. Oh my gosh. Now I gotta go with the Ruby.
Okay.
I gotta go with the Ruby.
This one's pretty.
This is much harder than I thought it was going to be, and this is just ludicrous. Oh my gosh! No, it's gotta be Summer Night though.
Okay.
As much as I love that cover, it's gotta be Summer Night.
I feel like Summer Night's gonna win, but we'll keep going. These are both step backs.
This
so
is the hardest one.
When we save
this
one,
is the absolute hardest one. We're gonna skip at this point. We're gonna skip because it's going to come down to Summer of Night versus Ruby.
You think so?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Summer of Night versus Ruby, and it's the battle of the step back covers at this point. So I'm gonna based off of actual front cover. Summer of Night edges out, based off of step back. It is. That's a hard decision. Oh my gosh. All my love of Bradbury is filtered into the step back cover here, even though it's not him. That's all I can think of. But with this V.C. Andrews, man, it's almost like a shock because the front cover, it's pretty, but it's plain. Then you open it up, and dang, that's good. Yeah. All right. Summer of Night. Summer of Night wins out. Now we read the synopsis and decide which one I would have picked, or if I would have gone with this one over that one.
Okay.
So it's the summer of 1960. The sixth grade boys of Elm Haven, Illinois are forging the powerful magical bonds that a lifetime of growth and loss will never erase. Amid the sun-drenched cornfields and the sly flirtations of the town's young girls, that loyalty will be hideously tested. From the silent depths of the old central school, a hulking fortress tinged with mahogany-scented coffins, an invisible evil drifts outward, plunging Mike, Dwayne, Dale, Harlan, and Kevin into a war without boundary or mercy, where an eternal enemy owns the night.
Sounds like Stranger Things.
Well.
Okay. The only family Ruby Landry has ever known are her loving guardian, Grandmere Catherine, a Cajun spiritual healer, and her drunken outcast grandpere Jack. Although thinking about her dead mother and mysterious father sometimes makes her feel as mournful as the wind sighing through the Spanish moss, Ruby is grateful for all she has. Her life is filled with hope and promise, especially when her attraction for handsome Paul Tate blossoms into a mysterious, wonderful love. But Paul's wealthy parents forbid him to associate with a poor Landry, and Grandmere urges her to follow her dream of becoming a great painter, foreseeing a time when Ruby will be surrounded with riches in the dazzling city of New Orleans. Yet she cannot know how close that certain unfuture looms. In a faded photograph, Ruby glimpses for the first time the image of her father and learns of a shameful deception and a shocking scheme of blackmail that now must come to light. Stunned by these revelations, she is devastated when Grandmere dies, leaving her to seek out her father in his vast New Orleans mansion. There, in the house of lies, madness, and cruel torment, Ruby clings to her memories of Paul to keep her heart alive, for only their love can save her now. Sounds like a romance.
Well, she writes, in the Gothic style, but I still would have picked Summer of Night.
Yeah.
So.
Now I feel like I shouldn't have put that in there. Because, I should have known that it was gonna win.
It wasn't an easy one.
It was hard.
It wasn't an easy one though. You gave me a lot of good options. That came out on top. Ruby was a great one. I think the biggest contender aside from that was probably the back cover of Bad Unicorn.
Yeah, because that's so you.
Because that was a great one. Yeah. I don't know, but you picked some awesome ones. You did a good job. You did a very good job. Thank you, love.
You're welcome.
And thank you guys for watching. This was a good one.
This was fun.
Yeah. And we say don't judge a book based off its cover, but
we all do it.
As people who are, kind of obsessive about our books, we definitely judge books based off covers. So, yeah.
Good job.
Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
We need to wrap it up because I'm all out of coffee. So,
oh no.
Yeah. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you again soon.
Cheers.
Cheers.